I wanted to bring up, kind of hot topic current event that, we're all going to be affected by, and that's the lawsuit that's going on right now with the National Association of Realtors. And wanted to hear kind of both your input on, what you think of the situation and what's going on right now.
I think honestly that I looked into it a little bit, but as far as I can remember in some of the conversations I've had with other realtors or people in the real estate game, for the last like 20 years, they've been kind of up in arms about commissions and stuff to realtors. And it's almost like they've always kind of had this or tried to have this like chokehold on our industry, but it never really pans out. I think that if agents can just continue to kind of set that expectation with buyers and sellers that hey, this is the commission across the board, we all have to work, we all have jobs. This is all how we make a living, how we put food on the table, how we keep our bills paid. Um, I think with anything, you're always gonna have people that disagree, but I think the other thing too is this has kind of just been like a very long, drawn out um, situation, and I honestly think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, I
I think we'll be okay.
think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chandler?
I think we'll be okay with, like, commissions in general, but I haven't done a ton of research on it, but I did see something proposed where buyers would have to pay buyers agents,
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I'm not the biggest fan of that just because a lot of
I
people I
agree.
work with, especially being younger, a lot of my real estate agents are younger. We work with first-time home buyers that are on a tighter budget.
And
Mhm.
three and a
So
half percent down is all they can afford.
yeah,
Right.
100%. Normally having, like, 3%, average house is, let's say, 300K.
Mhm.
They need 9,000 for that, and then let's say they need 3% for closing costs, now they're at 18K. You
Mhm.
gotta throw, like, another 2% on there now that they're going from 18 to 25-ish.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a little more,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so it gets a little bit tougher for first-time home buyer. I don't think, people buying homes that are selling their first home are gonna feel it as much, just because they're, taking those profits and rolling it to the next property.
Yeah.
But it definitely I think it would hurt and, like, it would make homeownership a little less accessible to,
Yeah.
that first generation home buyer, lower income families, things of that nature.
And I don't know why, but I feel like there is like a small percentage of people that kinda have this weird, like, connotation against realtors, like, "Oh," I actually was there's a house on 7th Ave that I used to live on, and they had a for sale by owner sign, but in big black Sharpie ink, it said, "No realtors." So I was just like,
How do you
how do
expect
you
to get
expect?
anything
Because then
done?
I
Yeah.
see that as a realtor, I'm like, "Okay, I get it. These people probably think that realtors are just know-it-alls or they aren't entitled to any money." But, like, as a realtor, why would I wanna take one of my buyers to your properties if you're not even gonna try to,
Mhm.
throw me a
Yeah.
bone? I could if I had a buyer that was interested in it, so be it, but it's just, like, that kinda just rubs you the wrong way off the get-go. Um but I mean, again, I think it's just one of those things that's kind of been ongoing, and I think in the grand scheme of things, we'll be okay, but just, kind of keep that expectation, and I think a lot of sellers actually know that they need to offer some sort of commission to help get their house sold because most people that are, you know, trying to sell a property, like you said earlier, they have jobs too.
Yeah.
They're busy all week. Leave it up to, someone like us, to help you with the process and make it way more easier, and then you can kinda, move on to the next one and do your thing and use this as a tool.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think what a lot of people don't understand from the, for sale by owner type situation is they think that they can do it themselves. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They have this thought in their mind where it's like, well, I'll just do it myself and I'll save 6%. But it's actually statistically proven that properties that sell via agents on the market and through the MLS system are, I mean, 10% or more higher on purchase price
Yep.
versus being sold for sale by owner.
Mhm.
So if you're making that much more on the sale price, but you're paying out 6%, you're still net profiting more if you're selling it on the open market, because when you're selling it for sale by owner, if you're putting it, even if you're putting a sign in the yard, I mean, you're getting drive-by traffic, and then you go and you put it on Zillow for sale by owner, that's a whole different column. If you, as a retail buyer, get onto Zillow to search for properties, it immediately takes you to the agent-only listings. To even look at the for sale by owners, you have to go out of your way to go to the for sale by owner column, and then you're dealing directly with people, and without that experienced agent in between to help, guide the transaction and the proper disclosures and addendums and things that it takes to get to the end, I mean, you're probably going to end up having to get an attorney to make sure
Mhm.
that the contracts and the documents are done correctly. Most agents know how to navigate that without
Mhm.
having to get an attorney involved. So you end up having more expenses.
Mhm.
Um, I think it's just a common misconception that a lot of people can't grasp that are in that situation. But do the research and look into it, and people will see. It really is best to work with a professional to get any type of property sold.
I think having the negotiation through a second party is super important too,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
people are very attached to their homes. Most people aren't selling investment properties to
Right.
other investment property owners.
Mhm.
Most people, it's their primary home that they love. They think it's worth something, selling it to someone else,
Yeah.
and things get heated. And
Oh,
those
For
it
realtors,
sure.
gets
yeah,
nasty.
You have to get
realtors get
people
in the
to
middle
reality.
and they're able to like settle their side down, settle the other side down, explain why they're asking for seller credits or
Right.
why something needs to be repaired in a calm way. And I
Yeah.
Mhm.
think that makes deals happen and go through. It's not
You
me
100.
calling you
Yeah.
as you selling your home and telling you, you have to fix that or I'm out. Like nothing's
Yeah.
hostile. It's very professional.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean,
And a lot of people
when
don't
you're
have that
working directly,
acumen.
it's emotional. It's an emotional process. Like you said, it's somebody's like, they may have thought it was their forever home, but then something comes up for work or family or whatever it is, and they have to move or they have to, get rid of property for whatever reason. It's an emotional process for them. Like you said, they may think it's worth more than
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
really is. You have to bring people to reality to get transactions done. So I think that's an important part of the process.
It's oftentimes people's like most valuable asset too. So
Mhm.
just knowing that they don't want to kill their life savings, like it's very personal to a lot of people.
Yeah.
100%.